sides to every story. Thank you so much for checking out this video. My name is Ray McDaniel, and this is The Miracle with Ray McDaniel. I'm here to help, and I just want to pray for anybody who's watching this video who's going through anything in life. I just pray that you're given more information on any decision that you have to make. Amen. So, why am I talking about this two sides of the story, right? I remember a long time ago, my grandmother had told me that there's always two sides of the story. I remember I got into it, got into a situation where I was believing my dad over my mom, and my grandmother told me that there's always two sides to the situation. You can't just look at one side of the story. And that always stuck with me, and I always try to, in any situation, look at all angles of the scenario. And that was the beginning of me growing and having discernment. A lot of people don't have discernment out here these days. You know what I'm saying? We're easily manipulated, and we're easily just thrown into things. You know what I'm saying? We have wars that we go into and we don't know anything about it. When you look at any war that we've had, it was always built on lies. We were never able to get down to, well, why did we go, and why we never get to see the whole side, every side of the story. Recently, they boycotted Target over DEI, where it was just like, well, if you look on the other side of the story, this was a thing that was pushed to black people.
Give God glory.
10 weeks after New Birth Missionary Baptist Church launched a Target fast, Pastor Jamal Bryant says it's time to raise the stakes.
So I told them what I'm getting ready to tell you. We ain't going back in there.
On Easter Sunday, Bryant announced the fast would continue as a full boycott after Target slashed diversity programs and, according to Bryant, refused to fulfill most of his demands.
Black people go and, boycott Target, where black and brown people work at Target. You know what I'm saying?
One of them, Lamique Beauty.
Before 2020, you're looking at less than 5% of black-owned beauty products on retailers' websites or on their physical shelves.
Kim Roxy, the owner, found her way on Target's website, but says sales for products listed on the website dropped amid the fast, but she's keeping her products listed.
I decided to keep my products on the website because they're there because of a black woman who has a company called Amp Beauty LA.
True Laundry, an Atlanta-based detergent company, also featured.
Everybody uses laundry detergent. If you have a good product, then we have people of all colors and all races buying from it.
Says this movement isn't just about where people spend, it's about who they're uplifting.
And, DEI only helps white women, and nobody wanted to look at that side of the story.
I believe, truthfully, it is simply a way the left is using the minority community, the black community, to get their agenda in. That's what I believe, but
has been great for one group of people and one group only. The lavishly paid DEI administrators at every Fortune 100 company, college, and university, and all those who work under them. Corporations now pay millions upon millions of dollars to so-called DEI experts to spread division and distrust among their own employees. It may be the single most non-productive, self-destructive thing a business can do to itself. But businesses, to their everlasting shame, are doing it anyway.
here's Forbes magazine, who actually, this is what the title is, who benefits from diversity and inclusion efforts? Well, let's see. It's cited, according to another McKinsey study, white women hold nearly 19% of all C-suite positions, while racial and ethnic minority women hold only 4%. Overall, white women have benefited disproportionately from corporate DEI policies. Don't let facts get in the way of your feelings.
DEI assumes black people can't hack it on their own. Neither can women or anyone who falls under the LGBTQI+ umbrella. They all need what only DEI can give them because no one can compete with the white, heterosexual Superman. The truth is that Americans of all races get along fine. Intermarriage rates, to cite just one example, are higher than they have ever been. The vast majority of Americans don't even think about race. They want to work hard and get ahead. And they know that America is the best place to do that. The big lie is the DEI made up version of American life. And thanks to woke colleges and corporations, they're shoving it down our throats.
There's tons of stuff that happens where it's just like, you have to look at both sides of the story. One of the biggest things right now is the Carmelo. Is his real name Carmelo Anthony? Yeah, his name is Carmelo Anthony. No, his name ain't Carmelo Anthony. What is his name? Dang, his name is Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. So look, man. In this situation, pretty much Carmelo, was sitting under a tent. Austin Metcalf, they had a track meet. He on the opposite side. He just under their tent. It's raining. Austin Metcalf tells him to move. He doesn't move. He said, if you touch me, you're going to see what happens. He has a knife where he's not supposed to have a knife on campus. He stabs Austin, kills Austin. Several sides of the story, right? One of the things that really touched me was the father of the deceased came out and said that, hey, I forgive Carmelo, because at the end of the day, kids are going to do wild things.
I've already forgiven him. Yeah. That's for my peace, not his. I rely heavily on my faith to get me through this. Like I said, people ask me, how can you forgive what to this other person? I said, I forgive the other person because the forgiveness is not for him. The forgiveness is for me, so I can have peace. His life is destroyed. My life is destroyed. This was not a race thing, and this is not a political thing. Please do not comment if you do not know what happened. Do not turn this into a racial thing. It was not. Do not politicize this. It's not. This is a human being thing. This person made a bad choice, and it affected both his family and my family forever. It's a very unfortunate thing.
This kid is only 17 years old. Both of them were 17 years old. Kids are going to do wild things. And he came out and forgave him. And he asked everybody not to make this a racial issue or a political issue. Everybody made a political racial issue. It was just crazy. Nobody lost nothing that day except that man. And probably in Carmelo's family. Nobody lost nothing, but everybody got something to say about it being a racial issue. They don't even know these kids. It's a racial thing. It's a black, if it's a black kid, all this riffraff. You know what I'm saying? One of the most startling things to me, I rarely comment on anything, but Jesse Lee Peterson, the pastor, said this is why white people should segregate from black people.
White people, it's time to separate from the black. Go to certain areas of this country and build your own government, your own police force, your own rules and regulations, and don't allow the blacks to even cross the line into where you are.
I'm just like, like a pastor preaching segregation, that is just wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've heard a lot of wild things in this whole case, right? Recently, and the dad is just like, he is just so like this is a masterclass on how to be forgiving. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's looking at that. Nobody's looking at that side of the story. But we're giving more attention to the race baiters. Like, I guess Carmelo Anthony's family went and got a social activist network or whatever they're called, and pretty much they held press conferences. Why are they holding a press conference when their son is on trial? Well, they really hold the press conference because they were trying to plead with people to stop, because people are giving death threats. It has, like, the father of Carmelo, he's stressed out at work, the mother's stressed out, and they're pleading with people to stop stressing them out. So that's why they have the press conference. The father came to pray with him. I'm the victim and I'm coming to pray for you. And he was escorted out. And it was just like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and just talk bad about black people because I'm black. I can't talk bad about myself. You know, people have real interesting ways. I'll just say that. And I just wish that the Carmelo family, you know, I pray for their peace. I pray for the Metcalf family peace. But yeah, man, they didn't have to go get the social activist network. You know what I'm saying? I think them actually having prayer with the Metcalf family that would have got Carmelo everything that he needed, you know what I'm saying? Because he's not going to get that much time. He was 17. I understand what he did was wrong, but he's not going to get that much time. He shouldn't get that much time. He shouldn't be in jail for the rest of his life for a mistake. The only thing is just like his mistake came with the loss of life, where I totally understand. But where I'm urging people is just to look at both sides of the story. There's a father. I commented on the Jesse Lee Peterson video, and I was like, the man asked for you guys not to make this a racial issue. I remember somebody responded to me and said, "Oh, the father's a fool." Look at both sides of this story, right? These are two families that wish that this did not happen. Pray for them. Look at both sides of the story. Don't jump to conclusions. One of the things that I just want to leave with you is, you know, Proverbs 18:17. The first person to speak always seems right until someone comes and asks the right questions. Are you asking the right questions in this situation? We don't need to segregate. This does not have to be a racial issue. This is an issue where prayer and compassion will overcome all. And I just want to keep praying for that man. You know what I'm saying? I wish that he just keeps going and keeps doing what he's doing. And if anybody has anything negative to say, just realize you did not lose nothing that day. You didn't lose nothing that day. And it's not something to fight about or argue about. If you are going through any situation where, you know, one of the things that I keep hearing is that people wish that they was on a level like that father. Even sometimes I wish I was on a level with that father. If I was in the same situation, I might be just like Mr. Metcalf. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm the type of person, I'm gonna just look at it as just like, this is what happened. What do I have to do moving forward? And forgiveness is the only way. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be with somebody who's trying to get to that level, and if you want to learn how to forgive people, you want to learn how to have more discernment, go to my website, tap in with me. I do coaching. You know, I do free consultations. You know what I'm saying? Just contact me and let's just go ahead and get started, man. Because at the end of the day, we need more people who have more discernment, and we need more people that have more compassion and are able to forgive. We just need more of that in this world, and I want to help people become that, you know? But this is the Miracle of Ray McDaniel. Thank you so much for watching. I'd like to see you in the next video.